suppose we took our chances in that game. Zebras were probably a bit off theirs. And roughly the same kind of thing, I suppose. I suppose the pressure on the ball in that game was really good. We, every time Zebras tried to go forward or try and play that from the back, we made sure we were right on their first touch. And then once we got the ball, we played it forward as quickly as possible and got our shots off. Obviously, a player like Eli, it's a huge blow, but same time we played Zebras in Summer Cup, we didn't have Eli, so I think we should be able to cover it. We've got a very experienced midfielder in Marcus Atkinson coming back, so Rob just like to call us giant killers in the past. I know Andy doesn't really like that tag, but I suppose it kind of implies that we're not very consistent and we rise for the big games. But I think we'd like to establish ourselves as a club in our own right.
I reckon our previous performance against Olympia showed that we're actually up for it. One thing about Knights is that we're always up for the big games against big teams. We've knocked over South this year, drawn the South as well. And from my personal point of view, league games and cup games are totally different. So it's just whoever turns up on the day for me. Well, for us as the Glenorchy Knights, it's obviously a bit more for us. Being like our previous player and previous coach, that's what the competition's actually named after. So there's that emotional tie to it, especially from our performances last year. Obviously I can't put my finger on it, neither can Chris, and that's why he just couldn't decide how. He just couldn't. I don't put his finger on why we actually played so well last year in the cup and so poorly, also inconsistent in the league last year. So this year it's pretty much the same thing, but we've been a little bit more consistent though in the league. But yeah, coming back to the cup though, it's just different. It's a different environment. More supporters come out, and it's actually you're fighting for a trophy there as well. Obviously, we've been trying to get our forwards to attack more, press higher as well. So that's always going to be a big part of the game, especially on a small pitch like Warrior Park. You have to really press them and put them under pressure to look for the turnover. So I think that's something that we might have to look at, and that we probably will. And I think that's what kind of worked for us last time we played Olympia at Warrior Park 2-3 weeks ago. Obviously, South Hobart are an unbelievable team. You don't go winning all those titles for no reason. We actually played in the past 2 years. We played really well against South Hobart. Obviously, knocked them out of the cup last year as well. This year, not doing the same thing. Obviously, we had a bit of luck on our side, and that's what you kind of need in a league game, in like a cup game. But saying that though, South Hobart was quite some time ago as well. So you don't use that as a bit of motivation, but that's kind of gone. You kind of got to look to present now. Obviously, players in ins and outs are different as well, so that always plays a big part as well.
I think if we play to our full potential, there's no reason we shouldn't get up. Obviously, Taroona had a really good game on Wednesday night. Had a really good game, but I did notice they had their full team out and rising, so they might be a little bit exhausted. But I think if we play to our full potential, that will be fine. I think our wings are very mostly our strengths, like just getting it wide and pulling it back in. We are a very attacking wide team. Again, we do have a very strong midfield that all of young girls, which are playing really well at the moment. But yeah, the young girls will go really well, I think. They've been putting in very well this year. I'm a winger, so either left or right. We don't have Maddie Gilby, so I'll probably play on the right, but we'll see how we go.
I'm quietly confident going into the game. We've had 2 wins against Zebras this year already. Quite convincing wins. As long as we walk onto the pitch focused and start playing from the first whistle, I think we will come away with a win. Definitely. I still think we have a bit of way to go, but compared to when I was playing here when I was young and coming back now, the game's more structured and more let's play it around, where back in the old days, it was a bit of a get the ball, kick it, hope the striker gets on the end of it. But now with the coaching, and we have like high-level coaches coaching women now, and the game is starting to go the way that it should, and knocking the ball around, playing the ball, keeping possession, and like waiting until your chances come to score goals, and it's really good to see. And with the MTC program in place, anybody who's watched them play, they're an awesome young team and a lot of potential, and a few of those girls will go a long way, I think. So you can't go out there with any guarantees. It'd be nice if you could. But I mean, they have some good players that can break us apart. But one of our biggest strengths is we're a team. We play well as a team. We don't rely on anybody. We have 11 players that we all feel comfortable with on the field. So if we stick together as a team and we keep structured and we keep focused, we can pull it off. But I mean, there is no guarantees. There are some players that could get between us if we lose focus at any time. Well, as I said, we're a really good team. So I mean, that's always good that you don't have players that you're sort of going, oh, we have to cover certain people. But I mean, we're very, very strong at going forward. We want to go forward, we want to score goals. So I would say that's one of the biggest things that Zebra's going to have to combat on Sunday to beat us, is to stop us going forward. And with the players that we have, they're going to have the work cut out for them. So Wednesday night, it just came down to that Taroona went out there, they wanted it more than us, and we broke down, and they took advantage of that. But yeah, confident when we've got as many wins, and we have beaten Zebras twice, and it has been by a few goals. So we are quietly confident, but in saying that, we have to get our heads switched on and not go out there and think of it as a game that is a given. So we will be going out there playing hard and hopefully walking off the pitch with a win. To start with, there was bits where they went to a new team and they had a bit of confidence under their belt that they could come out and beat us. But they're the same people. We still catch up. We still have a laugh and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to beat Olympia. So regardless of who we play, there is always that little bit of rivalry.